Hey guys, this is GamerCal. Welcome back to Touhou, the Genius of Saphiros. So last time we made it through the Garden of the Sun, got slightly lost, but not as lost as usual, and given the small scope of this stage, we are going to go ahead and murderize all the foes that we can. So, just to sort of show some of the change stuff here, I'm changing out Yomu because Yomu is level 22 is a decent level compared to the other characters I would want to use here, like she's higher level than the Tori for example, and instead we are going to raise Alice and Aya to get them back up to par, because yes, even Aya is going to be needed for stuff, so there is that. Now, to make Alice a bit less, for lack of a better word, useless during the stage portion here, I've actually gone ahead and crafted her 3rd tier Greaves here. So she has a decent skill for this place. Her Greaves will basically be good against stun status. Not really too useful here, though it does prevent daze quite a bit, and because I've actually gone ahead and put a few points into her growth tree for her Greaves, she has Mark Kick, which is a 1 to 4 hit move, in addition to increasing the chance of her inflicting daze, and with a couple of points in the dummy tree she has 20 extra induction too. So she should be able to reliably daze a few of the enemies here, which, because Mark Kick doesn't just target the same opponent all the time. It can do, but usually it spreads its influence among multiple enemies, and each one of those enemies will have a daze chance associated with this. So she should be able to stop a lot of the enemies from attacking in conjunction with Satori's Mind Blast, and that is essentially how I'm going to make better use of Alice here. So we'll try and use this fight as an example, see if it actually works out that way, and if it does, great. If not, well, that's too bad. But yeah, you can see there it dazed that plant, so that plant, even if it did survive, would not get a turn this time. So that's essentially what I'm trying to do. Mark Kick is also quite fast to actually activate, and Alice, I also gave her the Squall Hairpin so that she goes a bit quicker as well. So yeah, if you want to use Alice in a slightly more aggressive manner, this is what I would consider. The move does take quite a bit of MP, and Alice doesn't have the highest MP total out there, so that is a bit of a concern, but it's not too bad, and really, we should be okay with it. You can see it is sort of unreliable in the sense of it only hits one time quite a bit, but you know, the 1 to 4 hit thing, it's unreliable, but it's not terrible, so yeah, we're gonna go with it. Anyway, got a couple of bits done there. Alice obviously getting a level up too, and the Earth Shard and all the fun stuff. So, with that all said, I shall now be back when interesting stuff happens. And I think that definitely counts as an interesting thing. Holy hell! Two pieces of stuff in one go. That is pretty great. Plus a power level for Sakyu and Sana there. So we get both the Blessed Armor and the Defender Shield there. So let's take a look at them. So, the Blessed Armor is good against light attacks, and this is probably what I'm going to put on Sanai just now because it's a bit stronger than what she currently has. And the Defender is a very good shield against physical attacks. Plus, it gives high resistance, so if it activates against physicals like, say, the Mantis, which can inflict blindness from it, then it will very likely block said blindness. It's a very good shield for that. I usually don't use it too much, but I would use it on someone like Yomu if I have Alice in the party with her other shield stuff. So let's just give the armor here to Sana, so she gets a bit more resistance to light, as well as the physical defense and magic defense up there as well. And yeah, very nice fight, that one. And there is Constrict Learn, so Satori has a new move to work with here. Constrict is not something I would normally consider using, but hey, it's there if you want it. So it's a physical attack that can induce paralysis, essentially. That's the core idea behind it. It's an okay move, just not something I would usually consider, but we'll show it to you here anyway. It's not something I would consider because Mind Blast is just better, but this is an elemental, if you will, attack for strike damage, and it doesn't take much MP up. It's just its single target, and Mind Blast just does so much more, but still not a terrible move. And there's another level for Marissa, giving herself some extra stats there, very nice. Perfect, that's exactly what I wanted there. I mean, Satori kinda died to get it because it's a strong move, but Sunburst is definitely one of the best fire-based attacks that you can get, at the very least for single target stuff. So definitely going to put that on instead of Fire Arrow here, because even though it takes a lot of MP, there's no cooldown to using it, and it does have Slayer effects as well as being just generally a powerful move. So most definitely pick up Sunburst if you can. And that should be another piece of iron, if I believe correctly there, as well as a couple of levels for our lowest level characters here. No, it's actually a pretty mirror, okay. I know there are snakes later on that drop iron, so it's easy enough to get confused, I guess. And that will be another pretty mirror for us there as well. Pretty mirrors are nice to have because even though shields are something you only rarely craft, you need pretty mirrors if you want to make the other synthesis materials. So say if I ran out of iron when making too many swords and whatnot, the mirror would be very nice to have in order to make another iron for my thing, because you need 3 of them in order to make stuff that way. It's actually a pretty costly business. So I like to have multiple copies of it, basically. And there is another level for Sanae, pretty good. No new skills involved, but still, her HP's getting on quite nicely, which is always good considering she's the only one who can revive at the moment. It's still... yeah, it's a bit sort of awkward that way. Like, I think I've already said... well, no, I know I've already said at the start of this that Sanae is kind of overly essential, I feel, to this game. But, like, she is the only one without learning that can get a revive skill, and even then it's on a bomb, but I guess that's understandable. But her buffs are really, really good until, even when you get, you know, stuff later on, but for now she's the only character who can do any sort of buffing, and the multi-target buff stuff is just way too important. Anyway, these guys count, I believe, well, they're sort of no, the undead are the ones with the skulls. I forget what type these are. They may just be regular yokai. I'm pretty sure they get slayered by our dear friend Sunburst anyways, so let's just find out, I guess, whilst we're here. Why not? Oh no, they don't, but they are weak to it, so there you go. 476 damage. Pretty impressive, even if it is with a Sanae buff. It's just such a good skill. You really should try and pick that one up. And there is another level for Alice. Not really gaining any new skills, but getting a lot of growth there at the very least. Strength, dexterity, and potential, definitely nice. Alice's potential is surprisingly quite high, so she can actually get a pretty good amount of critical hits, which is actually surprisingly good. It's just her MP that's really the issue if you want to use it offensively, but it is something that could be worked around, that is for sure. No, you know, 2 more level ups as well, so I definitely getting up there. Satori does have enough HP when she has that muscle band on, that's for sure. 137 is pretty adequate, and yeah, Aya getting more agility as you would expect. She has to be the fastest thing alive after all, right? And that is 1 more level for Alice. Now she has a decent amount of MP, and her HP is just getting notably ridiculous, as you would expect, really. And that is Saki again, another level 2, also gaining a new skill finally, so a big 8 HP jump there too, very very good. But yes, she gets power direction, so one of the skills I kinda discarded pretty early on was misdirection. It's an instant death inflicting attack. It doesn't really do super huge amounts of damage, but it can be kinda nice if you instant kill, I suppose, but it's only 1 attack compared to, say, Jack Leludabar's 2. But power direction is just a straight upgrade on that, which is high strength rather than low strength, so, or it's medium strength is this one. It does take a lot of MP though, so again I may not use it too much, but I'll probably show it off at least. It is kind of a cool looking attack, so that's, yeah, we'll probably show it off. And Aya gains another level 2, also gaining a new skill, a new bomb skill for that matter, Tinker's Windfall. So this move does, yeah, guarantee physical hits, which is actually pretty good, and if you're going to use Aya, then stuff like this is the only real reason to do so. Things like this and Illusionary Dominance that lets you always attack first. If you're using a lot of physical hitters against a very physically evasive opponent, then yeah, Tinker's Windfall is a very strong attack that you can use. So I guess if you've been using Aya religiously up until you fight Yuko, then you could maybe use it against her. And there is another level for Marissa too. 116 HP, not too bad, and now that she's double casting magic, her MP goes down very quickly, so it's nice to get a lot extra of that too. And there we see 1 more level for Alice, gaining a new skill, which is something I will actually equip here instead of... Well, I realised I never actually showed off Artful Enchanter before, but essentially this is a resistance buff that gives you a 1-stage resistance to one of the core elements. But we'll replace that here, so this is an upgraded version of her regular puppet skill that gives your entire party a block. at the same time. So for now it's quite nice, because we won't then need to worry about being in the same column as Alice in order to defend adequately against some attack types, which is always a positive. And that is Aya gaining one more level, getting to level 21. Pretty solid level to be at right now. And I think that's just about it in terms of encounters here. This place really isn't anywhere near as large as some of the previous stages have been, and as a result, I think there's actually 2 more places I can go, but we're getting pretty close to being done. And well, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does sort of show the difference in scale compared to previous stages. That was not where I wanted to go. I think I wanted to go in this way, because where I'm thinking of is actually down here, and I need the red one. Yeah, what I'm thinking of is the entranceway, but there was a couple of maps that I needed to go into here. The 2 entrances that need a blue flower here. Those are the only 2 places I haven't been yet, so we are very fast approaching the end of our excursion around this place, and then, well, we have a boss stuff to do. The only catch here is I really didn't get any sunflower seeds so far, so I'm hoping, and I also haven't even encountered the new enemy yet, so I don't know, we've gotten decent levels and everything, but this place hasn't really been kind in terms of the other stuff here, so I'm hoping we can, you know, find this enemy in the last 2 maps here, but I'm not holding out too much hope at this point, and wow, that paralysis on everyone. So this is what power direction looks like. It's a pretty decently damaging attack, and that's basically what it has going for it. And with that level for Sanai, that is basically it, I believe. I don't think there are any other enemies here. Yeah, this is it for this map. So that's kind of that. Unfortunately, didn't get as much as I thought I would out of this, but oh well. We did get Rainbow Serpent, so if you're still using Sanai for offensive stuff, then this is a good upgrade to the Sky Serpent that you have there. It does hit a wide pierce, which is very good, and if you can get enough attack power on Sanai, then this attack can do a decent bit of damage, and you can therefore siphon off a lot of MP from the opponents, because her Snake Tree has the same vampiric staff traits that the other magic using characters have. So yeah, that is this stage, I'm afraid. What I will eventually do is I will eventually be coming back here for other stuff. So I'm gonna try later on to get the one enemy that I didn't show here, because it would be nice to have basically fully shown everything that way. But yeah, this has been GamerCow playing Touhou, the Genius of Sapphirus, and next time we take on Yuka, right? And totally stop this instant, because it's clearly Yuka that's doing it, obviously. I mean, who else would it be, right? Take care, guys.